Along the state border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania are two small towns. Separated by the Delaware River, these are industrial blue-collar towns that share the same values and traditions. Easton, Pennsylvania has a population of 27,000. Phillipsburg, New Jersey has a population of 15,000. But if you're a local, you call it Peaburg. Located about 60 miles from Philadelphia and 70 miles from New York City, both towns have seen better days. There is one thing that rallies these towns every year. It is a game that is played on one day, but is talked about 365 days a year. This is a story about the annual Easton-Peaburg High School football game. The Easton-Peaburg game is the longest high school football rivalry in the United States. Since 1905, the game has been played 112 years and counting. It is the first high school football game ever televised on ESPN. Played every year on Thanksgiving morning, the game is an annual sellout with over 15,000 fans packing Lafayette College's Fisher Stadium for the Fork of the Delaware Trophy and major bragging rights that doesn't just last the entire year, but for decades. The game is so popular that in 2009, Gatorade arranged for the first ever replay game. Easton and Peaburg tied 7-7 in 1993. 16 years later, these two teams suited up in full pads to replay the game in front of over 13,000 people. Peyton and Eli Manning served as honorary coaches. Peaburg eventually won the game 27-12. For us Syracuse fans, Jim Ringo, the Hall of Fame center and Syracuse legend, played for Peaburg back in the late 1940s. Ringo led Peaburg to victory 4 straight years. I chose this sporting event as a good example of sports as religion. The Eastern Peaburg game is a gift exchange. For over a century, the players have lined up against each other, gift against gift, playing for each other, their community, and the generations of former players that have suited up for this annual ritual. For the legions of fans, they give their gift in return. Every year is a sold-out stadium with screaming fans all bearing the colors of their teams. My grandmother is 83 years old and was a member of the Phillipsburg class of 1952. She knows very little about sports, yet listens to the Easton Peaburg game every year on her radio while basting her Thanksgiving turkey. It is all she talks about that day. The game is a sacred place. It brings communities together. It is part of the culture and fabric of these two towns. There is pageantry in the annual event. There are pregame bonfires, tailgates, and painted bodies that fill the stands. No matter what, the weather conditions, scores of the fans from both teams have a long walk together from their homes up College Hill to the stadium each year, where the sacred manifests itself in the material world. And finally, the game is a demonstration of hierophany, a manifestation of the sacred. While there may not literally be a wondrous event that occurs in the game, there is a spiritual revelation that the players are connecting with something larger than themselves. What does this game mean to the athletes that play it? Ned Bolker was the captain of Notre Dame's 1988 national championship team. He sums up what it is like to win this annual rivalry. Quote unquote, beating Easton 4 times was a comparable thrill to winning the national championship, end quote.